That box of cereal with the store logo? It was made on the exact same production line as the name brand sitting right next to it. Pick up a box of Kirkland signature batteries at Costco. Flip it over. Look at the fine print. You will find the words manufactured by Duracell. Walk into any Kroger and grab their store brand infant formula. The FDA requires it to meet the exact same nutritional standards as Similac and Enfamil. And in many cases, it comes from the same facility. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is how the consumer packaged goods industry actually works. Tonight, I am going to show you which store brands are secretly made by the same factories as the name brands you are paying 40 to 60% more for. And by the end, you will know exactly when the store brand is identical and when it is worth paying the premium. The industry calls it co-manufacturing or co-packing. Here's how it works. A factory that produces Kellogg's Frosted Flakes has the capacity to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But Kellogg's own orders might only fill 16 to 18 hours of that capacity. The remaining time? That is dead equipment, idle workers, wasted overhead. So the factory strikes a deal with retailers. During the off hours, they produce the exact same cereal, sometimes with a slightly different recipe, sometimes an identical one, and put the store's label on it. The retailer gets a quality product at a fraction of the brand's wholesale price. The factory gets to maximize its equipment utilization. And the consumer? The consumer pays $2.49 instead of $4.99 for what is, in many cases, the same product. This is not a niche practice. It is the backbone of modern grocery retail. A 2023 report from the Private Label Manufacturers Association found that store brands now account for 20.6% of all U.S. grocery sales, totaling $228.6 billion. That means 1 in every 5 products in your cart is a store brand. And the growth rate is accelerating. Store brand dollar sales grew 6.2% year over year, outpacing national brands at just 2.6%. During the 2022 to 2024 inflation surge, store brand adoption spiked even higher. When name brand cereal hit $7 a box, shoppers tried the $3.49 store version, and most of them never switched back. Nielsen data shows that 73% of consumers who tried store brands during the inflation period continued buying them even after prices stabilized. The quality matched their expectations because, as we now know, it often came from the same factory. There are 4 reliable ways to figure out if a store brand comes from a name brand factory. The first is the most direct. Check the label. The FDA requires every food product to list the manufacturer or distributor. Look for phrases like manufactured for or distributed by followed by the retailer's name. Then look for manufactured by or a plant code. If you search that plant code online, you will often find the same code on a name brand product. The second method is ingredient lists. If the store brand and name brand have identical ingredients listed in the exact same order, they are either the same product or extremely close. FDA regulations require ingredients in descending order by weight, so identical lists mean identical formulas. The third method is FDA facility registration numbers. Every food manufacturing facility in the United States has an FDA registration number. Public databases let you look up which brands are produced at the same registered facility. Cross-reference the store brand and name brand, and you can confirm the connection. The fourth method is blind taste testing. Consumer Reports has been testing store brands against name brands for decades. Their consistent finding is striking. In 33% of categories, trained panelists could not tell the difference between the store brand and the name brand. In another 40%, the store brand scored within 5 points of the name brand on a 100-point quality scale. That means in 73% of categories, the store brand, is either identical or nearly indistinguishable from the product that costs 40 to 60% more. Let me give you the confirmed matches that industry insiders and investigative journalists have verified. Kirkland's signature batteries at Costco are manufactured by Duracell. This is not speculation. Duracell has publicly acknowledged the manufacturing partnership. Kirkland diapers are made by Kimberly-Clark, the same company that makes Huggies. Kirkland infant formula is produced by Perrigo, the world's largest store brand manufacturer, which also produces formulas for CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, and Target. Trader Joe's peanut butter cups come from a contract manufacturer that also produces for the Hershey's family of brands. Great Value, Walmart's massive store brand line, sources its dairy products from many of the same dairies that supply Dean Foods and other national brands. Kroger's Private Selection ice cream comes from facilities that produce several premium name brand lines. Target's Up and Up brand diapers and baby wipes are manufactured by the same companies that produce Pampers and Huggies. And here is one that saves serious money. Over-the-counter medications. Store brand acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and diphenhydramine are chemically identical to Tylenol, Advil, and Benadryl. The FDA requires generic over-the-counter drugs to have the same active ingredient, the same dosage, and the same efficacy as the name brand. You are paying $2.99 instead of $8.99 for the exact same molecule. In total, industry analysts estimate that roughly 30% of all store brand products are made by the same company that makes the leading name brand in that category. Another 45% are made by companies that also produce name brands, just not the category leader. If it is the same product, why is it 30 to 50% cheaper? The answer is not quality. The answer is marketing. Procter & Gamble spent $7.1 billion on advertising in 2023 alone. Coca-Cola spent $4.3 billion. Unilever spent $7.6 billion. That money has to come from somewhere, and it comes from the price you pay at checkout. When you buy Tide laundry detergent for $11.99, roughly $3 to $4 of that price is paying for the Super Bowl commercial, the Instagram campaign, the shelf placement fee, and the coupon redemption program. The store brand version does not carry any of those costs. It sits on the shelf because the retailer owns the shelf. There is no slotting fee. There is no advertising budget. There is no coupon redemption overhead. The retailer's margin on store brands is also significantly higher, typically 25 to 35% compared to 10 to 15% for name brands. So the retailer makes more money selling you the cheaper product. This is why Costco promotes Kirkland so aggressively, why Trader Joe's is 80% private label, and why Amazon launched hundreds of store brands. The math works for everyone except the name brand company. And because the retailer controls both the shelf space and the brand, they can price it exactly where they want to maximize the perceived value gap. That gap is usually 30 to 50% below the name brand. Not so cheap that you question the quality. Not so close that you do not notice the savings. It is a calculated sweet spot designed to make the switch feel like an obvious win. Not every store brand is a winner, and you need to know where the gaps are real. The biggest quality differences tend to show up in 4 categories. First, condiments and sauces. Products like ketchup, barbecue sauce, and salad dressing often have genuinely different recipes across brands. Heinz ketchup uses a specific tomato variety and a proprietary spice blend that has been refined for over a century. Store-brand ketchup might substitute with more high-fructose corn syrup and fewer tomato solids. The taste difference is noticeable to most people. Second, trash bags and paper products. Glad and Hefty invest in specific polymer blends engineered for tear resistance and load capacity. Store-brand bags often use thinner plastic formulations. Same shape, but they rip more easily under heavy loads. Third, chocolate and candy. The tempering process, cocoa butter ratio, and cocoa bean sourcing all have a measurable impact on taste and texture. Store-brand chocolate often substitutes vegetable oil for cocoa butter, which changes the mouthfeel and melting profile. If you are a chocolate person, you will notice the difference. Fourth, specialty cleaning products. Products like Clorox bleach and Method cleaning spray have specific chemical formulations that store brands struggle to replicate exactly. The active ingredients might be the same, but the surfactant ratios and fragrance blends differ. The general rule is simple. The simpler the product, the safer the store brand. Water, sugar, flour, salt, basic chemicals. These are commodities with no secret recipe. But when the product involves a proprietary process, a specific ingredient source, or a subjective taste profile, the name brand might genuinely be worth the extra cost. Here is your action plan. Start with the categories where store brands are virtually identical to name brands. Canned goods, dairy products, frozen vegetables, rice, pasta, cooking oil, bottled water, over-the-counter medications, batteries, and basic cleaning supplies like bleach and dish soap. That single switch, applied consistently, saves the average American family between $1,500 and $2,000 per year according to Consumer Reports. Then move to the taste test zone. Buy one store brand and one name brand of your favorite condiments, snacks, and sauces. Do a blind comparison at home. If you cannot tell the difference, switch permanently. Most families find that after testing 20 to 30 products, they keep the name brand in only 4 to 6 categories. Everything else becomes store brand. And those 4 to 6 premium products they keep, those are worth every penny, because the person has confirmed through their own taste buds that the difference matters to them. If you found value in this breakdown, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, we expose the data behind your everyday purchases so you can make smarter decisions with your money. Next up, we are revealing Target's secret markdown schedule, the exact day to shop each department for the deepest discounts. I will see you there.